Good morning. This morning we're filling plug trays. These are 288 individual little cells on a 10-inch by 20-inch tray, and we're filling them with a fine dirt. It's a sun-grow product that's made especially for plug propagation, and this is it. And this is the first planting of the year, and I'm planting things that we normally don't plant this early for us. I'm planting things for us to take to Deep South Homestead's gathering on March 9th, and I've got a little bit of a list here of what I'm going to plant and what we should have there. I'm going to plant a full tray of Rutgers tomatoes, and when I say a full tray, that's 12 4-pack boxes on a tray. I'm going to plant a full tray of Amish paste tomatoes. There'll be a half a tray of Romas, half a tray of pineapple tomatoes, half a tray of brandywine tomatoes, half a tray of watermelon beefsteak tomatoes, one tray of broccoli, one tray of Lake Flat Dutch cabbage, half a tray of early Jersey Wakefield, and half a tray of Stonehead, and a full tray of California Wonder bell peppers. And then I'm also going to look at possibly jalapeno, or maybe a couple of hot peppers, maybe a half a tray of each. And then I've got some odds and ends tomatoes running around that I may plant. They just maybe a box or two of. And we'll see what comes in this week, and if I can get them planted in time. I do have an order coming from M.I. Gardner, and I have an order coming from one of our other wholesale catalogs that may have some other things that we decide to take. It's going to be interesting because we're taking the Prius to the gathering, so Jamie is taking alpaca things to sell, and then we're taking plants and getting 8 or 10 trays of plants in a Prius with all the other stuff. It may get interesting. Also at the gathering, I may have a little bit of sugar cane to sell for planting. It won't be a lot, probably not over 30 or so stalks so long. And so let me show you how we fill these plug trays and get some things planted. I don't recommend planting these smaller cell trays like this at home, simply because you don't have enough soil and they dry out so easily, and you've only got one shot. If you miss a watering, then the plants are gone. And so I recommend planting in something bigger. If you're at home, we have an automatic mist system, and we're out here all day every day, so we can keep an eye on things. And there's a finished plug tray. We've got 3 others setting over here. So let's get some seed and we'll get started planting. I've got Rutgers tomatoes. They are a pelletized tomato, which means if you look at them here, they're yellow, and they have a thin clay coating over them to smooth them out, and it makes it a lot easier for us to handle them with the seeder that we've got over here. But I'm just planting these by hand because I only need 1 tray of them. So I'm just going to drop 1 seed at a time. And the nice thing about the yellow is when I'm planting them, you can see them pretty easily on the trays. Putting 1 seed per cell. If I drop 2 occasionally, I don't worry about it too much. That's 5 rows, 12 cells wide, so that's 60 cells there that are planted of Rutgers, and I only need 48 plants, and there are some doubles, so that should give us enough to get a tray to take to the gathering. Now we'll move on to something else. Plant some Amish paste. I'm also going to take a full tray of those. They are a raw seed. Makes them a little more difficult to handle. I will skip a row, leave a blank row between the 2 varieties. So there are the tomatoes planted for the gathering. Now we cover these with a coarse vermiculite. We don't cover with soil. The reason we use a coarse vermiculite is it holds the moisture, but it doesn't seal off the air. If you cover seed and completely seal off the air to it, it will not germinate. So we just always used a coarse vermiculite for a cover. You don't want to use fine vermiculite, it'll do the same thing, it will seal off. Ready to go to the germination tent. So we use one of these label makers to tag our trays with. It takes a plastic label that it prints on, and this particular tray, since it's mixed, just says tray 1. And then I have a list here of what rows are what on tray 1. When we're doing full trays of things, once we get busy planting, it will just be whatever varieties on the entire tray will be on this label. We just stick these labels on the front, and that way we keep everything straight. Before we put these in the germination tent, we have this stainless steel tray here that we put water in, and we set them in here to soak. And I'll leave them in here long enough that the vermiculite all soaks up, and then we'll move them into the germination tent. This tray will hold about 4 of these trays, and Bought this out of a salvage yard 20 some years ago probably, and it really comes in handy. And we'll take this tray and set it over here under the germination tent. This germination tent, as you can see, has got blue board insulation on the sides, plastic over the top, and there are 2 electric heaters running underneath this section, 3 electric heaters under the section down there with geraniums, and that provides bottom heat, and that way we get good germination. Also makes for a good electric bill with 5 electric heaters running under here for several weeks. But seems to work pretty well for us. So let's finish up planting. We got more plants in a while ago. It's pouring down rain outside. Usually don't have vegetative petunias come in with flower on them. There's 100 per tray here. This is pink sky. The next 2 trays are night sky. And then the last tray is for coca. And this is all 4-inch pot material and hanging basket material. The majority of it will go in hanging baskets. So here's 3 288 lug trays, planted with stuff to go to the gathering. I wound up adding some things. Grab my list here. I did wind up planting jalapenos. So I'll have a half tray of those and a half tray of super chili peppers and half of a tray of sweet bananas. And then I also planted some oddball tomatoes, and I do have some others that are on the way if they get here on time. From Baker Creek I planted a Illini Star, purple calabash, violet jasper, and Nyagos, Nyagous tomatoes. So we'll have those. This stuff will be transplanted into 4-packs. And here's the trays. And these little 4-pack boxes, 4 plants in a box. And we will have them at the gathering for $1.50 a box. So if you're interested, if you're going to be at the gathering and you're going to be interested, since we're going to have a limited quantity of this stuff, let me know in the comments or send us an email or whatever. Get in touch with us and let us know what you want, and we'll put it back for you so we make sure we have it. Thanks for watching from Red Dutchess Farm. You all have a great day.